to the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals. For today's agenda, so introduction. So we're looking at right now. We'll sort of share some information about the discussion platform. Afterwards, following this, we'll invite our colleagues that are present here today from across our network to share more information on more information on educators and how we can begin to support your work. We'll then provide some time for a Q&A following this. But yeah, please throughout the session, feel free to put in your comments and questions in the chat. And then following the Q&A, we want to share a document. So we want to create a space for sharing, for collaboration across this network. So we have a little document, first of all, just to sort of see how that would look, to provide some information on your projects and what you're doing. And if you're looking for some support or you want to engage with another member of this network, we'll have this document that we can sort of visualize this towards the end. Following this, we have a sort of closing in the session, and then we'll look at the networking element. But yeah, moving on then. So just getting into sort of what the Educators Network is. So under the World Food Forum's education program, this network aims to serve as a community of practice for agri-food systems education. So we're hoping to provide a collaborative space for all of us here to engage in meaningful discussions, share resources, develop new competencies, and then grow our network for collaborating in our regions and across the world as well. So we'll do this through 4 focus areas where I'll share a little bit more information afterwards. So the Educators Network will comprise of the World Food Forum, from ourselves, with the support of various partners, including academic and research institutions, non-governmental organizations, governmental representatives, and other organizations and population groups. This network will be open to all formal, non-formal educators and people that have an interest in education and agri-food systems, to engage in discussions and meetings on agri-food systems education. So the Educators Network incorporates 4 elements: the Teachers Labs, as one network meetings, which is what we're in here today, the discussion space, and the educators' resources. The Teachers Labs, and some people had said they'd attended the previous one, which happened on 3rd of July, which was the first installment of these, and was on sort of behavioral science. These labs are interactive training sessions where educators learn from experts from FAO and also our external partners about relevant topics related to agri-food systems education. And the last 2 pillars, the discussion space and the educators' resources, we'll discuss a little bit more in today's session. So then talking specifically about the network meeting and what this component sort of consists of, and what we hope to achieve and share with all of you. So it'll be periodical network meetings that will support project development, community activities. We hope it serves as a platform for sharing of best practices. The objectives include supporting educators, facilitating communication, fostering learning amongst ourselves and across our network, sharing updates on ongoing projects, which I mentioned a little bit earlier, and we'll get into discussion later on, and then cultivating sort of collaboration across the network. So that's some of the objectives, a little bit of an introduction. I mentioned one of the other pillars was this discussion platform, and I'll pass over to Grace, who will share a little bit more of information about that and how you can get involved there.
All right, thanks, Oisin. So as has already been mentioned, an integral part of the Educators Network is our discussion space. So this is where we invite you, our members of the network, to collaborate with each other, while also providing the opportunity for networking, mentorship, and peer support. We'll also be holding discussions on important topics, challenges, and innovative practices in agri-food transformation and education. And for this discussion space, we will be using Slack, which you can download for iOS and Android from the 2 QR codes on the screen, or you can search it up after this meeting. Slack is a communication platform you can download for your computer, your phone, or use through the website. On the next slide, you can see we are demonstrating it on a mobile phone, where you can see the opening page. And in the Zoom chat, we've also just sent out the access link for the Educators Network Slack page. So once you have downloaded the application, you can click the link in the chat and begin registering for the Educators Network page. Once you finish that, you'll come to the navigation page of the Educators Network. From this page, you can send private messages to other members of the network, access different channels, and check in on updates and activities. But the main element of this is the Educators Network channel. So this is where you'll be able to communicate to the whole network. It's where you can advertise your projects and opportunities for collaboration to other members, share resources and expertise, ask for support, and network. In this channel, we will also be inviting you to give your perspectives on important challenges and topics facing agri-food education. So don't worry if you can't see this channel when you first log in, you will be added shortly after your registration to the channel. And in case you missed anything about the Slack Educators Network page, we will be sending out all of the links for the discussion space in the email following this session as well. So I will now hand the floor back to Oisin to talk about the network highlights.
Perfect. Thanks a lot, Grace. So for those that have just joined us, people are still coming in, we just shared some information on our discussion space, and don't worry, we'll share all the links again following in an email. So thanks a lot. But yeah, so for this network highlights, this is the part we're inviting members from our network and across our community as well to share information on what they're doing, how you can get involved, and how it can support your own work. So for this, we have 4 guests, 4 different presenters from different organizations. And so without further ado, we'll pass over there. So our first presenter will be Fabienne Rouault from Food Educators Program of EIT Food. So Fabienne Rouault is the project lead for the Food Educators Program, which is based in EIT Food, which is the education, so European Institute Technology and Innovation. And so Fabienne has been working, has vast experience in food education programs, and currently leading the Food Educators program, which is present in 15 countries. So this program offers learning materials for primary and secondary teachers. The food educators in the EIT Food program that provides teachers with fun, creative, and interesting activities to engage young people, mainly school children from 6 to 18. These resources are easily accessible, science-based food education materials, which enhance students' learning so they can become better informed, conscious consumers of the future. So over to you, Fabienne.
Thanks a lot, Oisin, and thanks for having me. Victoria, my colleague, is going to share the presentation. Here we go. I'm very happy to be able to talk to this network, and it's always so nice to actually talk to teachers and educators. So thanks a lot for inviting us. Indeed, I work at EIT Food, and we're a Belgium-based institute financed by the European Union. So our work is mostly in Europe, but our resources are available online, so can be downloaded from anywhere in the world. Next slide, please. So Food Educators has started in 2022, and we've started through the analysis of a lot of past EU projects that have created a lot of educational content around food education, around food literacy, but didn't really have a space to be hosted or didn't really have quality control, and were very difficult to find for the teachers who have already very busy schedules. So we decided to create Food Educators as a one-stop platform for food educators to easily find resources that have been quality control, and that can be used in schools or outside of schools, but with kids, with students from 6 to 18, and that creates awareness on food-related issues and connect food with sustainability, health, science. We'll talk about the food system as a whole in classrooms and with young people. So we really want to inspire young people about the food they eat, and we also talk about careers and possibilities of professions in the agri-food sector. Our goal is really to support the teachers and the educators to teach and engage the young people. Next slide, please. So how did we build our program? We started with learning about the needs of educators. We started with a big surveys for teachers, mostly in Europe, and we tried to adjust our program to cater to the needs and the questions, the comments of the teachers, and what they really wanted to see. So what teachers told us is that generally they had a lack of knowledge on key concepts around food and food systems. These topics are not necessarily in the curriculums, or they are in curricula, but on very specific topics, not on food systems as a whole. So teachers didn't really feel comfortable in teaching about food systems and food system transformation. They also wanted to have some available tools that are interesting, attractive, like videos, games, quizzes, to be able to interact with the kids and to make it interesting for them. And they reported that usually existing school programs are very specific and do not go broad enough. So that's why we decided to really focus on our work on finding a way to overcome those problems. And now 2 years later, we have our annual survey out, so we are still in the lookout for educators' feedbacks and what they need and what they feel in the field and in the domain of food education. So I will just ask you if you could also give your feedback, and we have my colleague Victoria will put the link in the chat to our current survey, if you can tell us more about your feelings. But if you go to the next slide, please. So based on the survey and what I just presented, we decided to really focus our work on creating lesson plans that are downloadable for free on our website. We provide those lesson plans as easily accessible science-based lessons that combine teamwork, role playing, communication skill, experimentations, active participations of students. They are available in all of our languages, 16 languages, and yeah, for an average duration of 45 minutes, so a class, but can be set as more, like many lesson plans can be set together to make a bigger sessions. And we also provide a set of supporting documents and supporting materials for each of the lesson plans. Next slide, please. So here I just wanted to just present our website, and this is where you can download all of our materials. And for free, you need to register, and then you will be able to download, teach our lesson plans, and also afterwards give us feedback on what you thought about the specific lesson plans, and if you managed to teach it to how many kids. Next slide, please. So our themes, as you will see in our website, all of our lesson plans are categorized under a theme. Some of them are cross themes, but this was one of the concerns and one of the questions or requests from educators that we got, that usually the contents they found were very specific. Here we really wanted to have lesson plans that go across the food system, and really not only on food and health, but also sustainability. We have a lot of lesson plans on sustainability and food, how it connects, and food systems, food science. And of course, we also have a whole component on agri-food jobs and careers. Next slide, please. I will be quick. Yeah, I also wanted to present our activity week, which is another of our activities, annual activities that we're doing, and it's building on the FAO's World Food Day, and we are offering a number of activities to celebrate the World Food Day, and making available a lot of resources that you can download again for free. And if you want to participate, we'd be really happy to know about it and to get some feedback from you and from how you manage to engage your students around the food system. So that was in very short, but I would be really happy to answer any more questions. If you go to the next slide, this is my name, my email. So do contact me, and do go to the website and test our materials. And I would be happy to answer any questions or to get any ideas on maybe new topics we should cover, or also new formats. So thank you for listening, and I'll give you back the floor, Oisin.
Thanks a lot, Fabienne. It's it's great to hear what you're doing. And yeah, in terms of questions, so we'll have an allocated time slot just after all the presenters. So yeah, please do save any questions or post them in the chat here, and we'll be able to come back to them afterwards. So thanks a lot for presenting, Fabienne. Great to hear. So our next presenter is Dr. Melanie Miller-Foster from the community lead for the Global Teach Ag Network. So one of the co-founders of Global Teach Ag Network and faculty member in International Agriculture and Development at Penn State University. So Global Teach Ag Network creates opportunities for educators to be involved in conversations on agri-food systems transformation and how to include education as a key component of change. Their work highlights the need to empower younger generations and equip them with important knowledge and skills to enact change. So, Dr. Melanie, over to you.
Thank you. It is absolutely such a privilege to be in a room with educators from all over the world. So I am thrilled to be here with all of you and to share a little bit about how we might continue the conversation in the Global Teach Ag Network community. So the Global Teach Ag Network has many different programs that are focused on food security education. And the common thread is that we focus on educator professional development. So educators are the stars of our show. And so as such, I think it's really important before I continue to talk a little bit about our philosophy. We're talking about empowering educators. How do we do that? Well, I mentioned that we do it through educator professional development. But this is not the kind of professional development where we stand in front of the room and tell you what to do. We know that educators are highly trained professionals. You know your communities, and you know how to engage your learners effectively. And so what we hope to do is capture that magic and give educators a space to share with each other and inspire each other. So what we do is we turn the spotlight back onto the educators. So I'm going to demonstrate a little bit about how we do that in our network. And I'm going to do a series of chat challenges. And when I say chat challenge, that means I'm going to ask all of you to put your answers to some of the questions I'm going to put on the screen into the chat box here in Zoom. Okay, so this is one way that we can start to get to know each other and understand the great ideas and the different perspectives that people in the room can bring into this community. So without further ado, I'll go to my first chat challenge question. What do you think educators can contribute to solving issues in the global agri-food systems? So what are the contributions that educators can bring? I'd love to hear some of your answers. I'm going to give some silent time for you all to think and to put your answers into the chat box. Wow, these are amazing answers that are coming in. I know many people are still writing, but I'm just going to call out a few answers here. I love this one, awareness and purpose. Yes, we are here to open new doors for our learners and give them a sense of purpose, empower them so that they know that they can take on challenges in the agri-food system. Critical thinking skills, empowering our students to take action in their local communities, knowledge transfer, capacity building, creating awareness, systematic thinking. These answers are inspiring. I love them. So I encourage everyone to take a look in the chat box after you put your answer in. We have lots of great answers coming in. Mindset shift, capacity building, knowledge transfer, making informed choices. Yes, all of these are things that educators bring into this conversation. And part of what the Global Teach Ag Network does is to highlight the roles of and the importance of educators. We know that educators are so important in inspiring the next generation, but it is so frustrating when we hear so many people scratching their heads thinking, how do we get youth excited about agriculture? We have the answer. We know. One of the pieces of that answer is educators. And so that's why we have this specific focus on professional development of educators and involving them in these high-level conversations. All right, so thanks for your answers in the first chat challenge. I know some folks are still working on those, but because of time, I have to press on to the next one. So here's our second one. As you think about some of those responses to that first chat challenge, what resources do you think educators need to make those valuable contributions? So this is a question about what resources do educators need? I will give you some thinking time, and I look forward to seeing your answers in the chat. I love seeing these answers pour in. Mentorship, basic equipment, yes, finances, always an issue. Collaboration time and leaders who see the worth in building capacity in students. We need great leadership. We need community resources available in local communities. We need knowledge and skills, training materials. We need experience. We need our governments to set effective policies, training and capacity development, finances. We need collaboration between all sectors. What a great answer. And there's so many more coming in. I love the engagement. Thank you. And so I encourage everyone to take a look at these answers that are coming into the chat. This is absolutely a wonderful list of the kinds of resources and the support that educators need to make those changes in the agri-food system and be effective educators. All right, so I'm sorry I have to press on, but let's go on to chat challenge number 3. Where are the places you go to look for advice on how to inspire your learners to engage with the agri-food system? So you as an educator, where do you go to look for advice and inspiration? Wow, we have already lots of great answers coming in. We go to our mentors. We go to actors in the local food system. We go to the internet. Yes. We also can tap into existing resources like extension programs, our local universities, local businesses, corporate entities, educational institute, researchers, local farmers, local experts, community college. Wow, this is a great one. World Food Forum programs like this one. Absolutely. Yes. So we have places that we can go. And I encourage you to look at the answers that we have here in the chat. But what we at the Global Teach Ag Network hope to do is to provide a place where educators from around the world can gather in a digital spot at an hour that works for them. And I'll talk a little bit about that as we get to the end. But I want to talk about 3 of our values. So as the Global Teach Ag Network, we believe that educators are an effective way to engage youth. And too often, educators are left out of the conversation as we think about transforming the global agri-food system. And so part of what we do with the Global Teach Ag Network is to make sure that educators are in those high-level conversations. We believe that educators are powerful agents of change. And that's because you all are in the local communities. You work with learners on a daily basis. You're familiar with local issues and also how to engage your learners in finding local solutions. And so as such, you have the tremendous capacity to influence the next generation of our world's youth and get them involved and excited about agriculture and the way that we can transform agriculture to be more sustainable. So never underestimate the importance of educators. Educators matter, and that's what we talk about in the Global Teach Ag Network. And lastly, we believe that we need to find meaningful ways to solve global problems together. Educating can be very isolating, as you maybe stand in front of a classroom or a group of youth, or go out to an educational program and you're the sole instructor. And it's really important for educators to be able to come together into community and share inspiration, share ideas, share challenges, and get support. So I think that this is really the niche that we occupy for the Global Teach Ag Network, is bringing people together, bringing educators together to have those conversations, share resources, and inspire each other and remind each other that we're not doing this alone. And so with that, I will invite you to join us. We have a digital community of practice. I'm going to put the link here in the chat. And this is an opportunity any educator can join us for free and join the conversation. So if you like doing the chat challenge, that's what we do in this digital community. So I hope that you will join us. And I'm here, I'll put my email in the chat, and I'm here to answer any questions at the end. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks so much, Melanie. And really, really enjoyed the chat challenges and hearing lots of the responses. And it's interesting as well that, so from EIT Food as well, we're looking at the teacher needs survey and then looking at in this chat as well. So linking up the two as well, just trying, this is a space that we can all grow together, share our own resources and then learn and collaborate and grow. So thanks a lot for sharing. But yeah, so moving on to our next presenter, and this is quite interesting project that we've shared in the past through the World Food Forum, and if anybody was part of the school assembly last year. But yeah, so Claire is the program director for NASEF Farmcraft. So it's an educational challenge presented by the network of academic and scholastic esports federations and the US Department of State. Farmcraft used the popular game Minecraft to enhance understanding of the evolving agricultural industry and its impact on global food security. The Farmcraft game and all supporting educational materials are provided free of charge to educators and participants around the world. Farmcraft 2024 focused on the impact of digital technology on agricultural productivity. Participants learn about challenges and benefits of growing in varied settings, including a rural farm, suburban greenhouse, and an urban vertical farm. So, Claire, pass over to you.
Thank you, and hello, everyone. It's so great to see this crowd. I was looking up as we were talking how many participants we have had from the various countries where you all live, and we're about 50%. So about half of you, we've had participants in FarmCraft, about half of you we have not. And I'm excited either way to share the program with you and to help you understand a little bit about FarmCraft and how you can use it to teach your children about food security. NASEF is a nonprofit. We're based in the United States, but we work
Sorry,
around
Claire.
the world.
Sorry to interrupt you. I don't know if you're sharing a presentation, we're just seeing your home screen.
Oh, you are? Okay, well, let's try that again. Thank you. Let's try again. Share. There, is that better?
Perfect. Yep. Sorry.
Okay, perfect. Sorry about that. So NASEF works to use esports as a platform to help students develop STEAM-based skills. And I put a question in the chat. How many of your students play video games? And you can just respond with an emoji or something. But I imagine that for most of you, the answer is yes. And our objective is not to teach kids to be the best gamers. It's to leverage that interest that they have in video games to teach them important and practical skills. And so through Minecraft, we're doing this with a custom program that we've developed called FarmCraft. Why Minecraft? Number one, it's really versatile. It has very low tech requirements. It can be played from a mobile device to a Chromebook, very low system requirements, all the way to, of course, powerful computers. But that's really important to us, that the technology is not an impediment to be able to participate. It's so immersive, and I will show you what I mean in a couple of minutes. But rather than discussing the principles in Minecraft, the students have an opportunity to get in and play and plant a crop and see how it grows and see how are they going to deal with the caterpillars? How are they going to decide how to water? Once they have a crop, how are they going to ship it and get it to the other side of the world without having everything spoil? It's very immersive. And of course, kids are competitive. So they play once and they get a score, and what do they want to do? Play again and get a better score and beat their classmates. So they will learn different lessons as they continue to play the game. We describe Minecraft as having a low floor and a high ceiling. It's very easy to get started and play, but then for those who have been playing for a long time, there's something new for them that they can experience. Also, Immersive Reader, which is a Minecraft feature, translates the text that we have scientists who teach students different principles. That text can be translated into, I believe it's 115 languages now in Immersive Reader. And the last reason is popularity, because students love Minecraft, and so they are going to be excited to join and excited to learn these principles. Through the program, the students develop STEM skills and social emotional learning. They're going to be working on teams. They're going to learn how to collaborate. They're going to communicate with each other. They're going to have a time when the caterpillars take over and destroy the crops, and they will learn how to persevere and try again. And there are a lot of different specific science disciplines as well woven into the program, as well as presentation skills or public speaking, and that's based on the way that we implement. And of course, it's a computing game, so they're learning technical skills at the same time. I want to emphasize it is free to join, and if you do not have Minecraft, we will provide it free. We're a nonprofit. Our objective is to help teach the lessons, and so this amazing program, all the resources that I'm going to show you, everything is available completely free. So the 2024 world, and this is a screenshot of it here, we were teaching about the evolving industry and how technology is used in agriculture. So we had 3 key principles: autonomous farming, non-traditional farming, and how do you automate indoor farming. And built into the regular season challenges, we were having students learn how to feed their own community, how to implement technology, and how to grow in an urban environment. So if you look here in the foreground of this picture, you have a rural field. They would grow there, and if they succeeded, then they're able to continue on and grow. Right over here, you can see a greenhouse. They would learn, how do you grow in a greenhouse in the suburbs? And when they were successful with that, they would continue on and learn, if I'm in the city and I need to feed the people here, what do I do? Vertical farming. So they were able to learn different technologies and techniques in each of those settings. I'm going to play this video because a picture is worth more than 1,000 words. And so just take a look. When I said immersive, you'll see exactly what I mean. And Oshin, if there are any issues with the video, please let me know. Okay, so you can see so many different lessons learned, so many fun places to play and explore and discover. This is a sample of the resources that we provide to you, the educators. It honestly does not matter if you have used Minecraft before or not. We provide so many resources. We have live streams where we have experts who have been teaching using Minecraft for years, show on video exactly how to use the game, exactly what to do for each lesson, for each challenge. But if you're an expert and you want to take it in your own direction, that's fine too. This is a sample of the team guide from this past season that we had, and you can see we just lay out every single thing that needs to be done. And then for each challenge, we provide objectives, links for research, exactly a rubric, a guide for you in how to implement and what questions to ask. We do 3 challenges per season that are in what's called vanilla Minecraft or the regular Minecraft, where the students are building something themselves. And then we do 3 challenges where they're in that fantastic custom world that I just showed you. And we do have a guide for lessons learned and objectives for each of those. As I said, participants from all around the world. NASEF partners with the US Department of State and their American spaces. We have many embassies that are leveraging Farmcraft in their American corners, which are technology centers in different countries around the world. This map is exciting to me, and yet I know there are a lot more than 63 countries in the world, and there are a lot of students who have not yet participated, and we're hoping that you will find a place where this might help you in your teaching. I am gonna skip, I have 2 videos in here that for the sake of time, I'm not going to play, but I wanted to include the links. At the end, I'll have a QR code where you can access this slide deck, so I wanted to make sure you have a few videos. One is videos submitted by students showing their own gameplay and talking about what they learned. And then the second is with Dr. Kerry Fowler, and he does a walkthrough of Farmcraft and explains again the lessons learned in the way that it's applied. So those are both fantastic resources for you. So in summary, Farmcraft is fun and engaging and immersive. And that is what we are hoping to equip you with, is something that is really exciting to the students to join, where they look forward to learning these lessons about food security and about modern agriculture. They will understand a farmer's work. I'll tell you, we had a student from Mexico who participated last year, and I was chatting with this group of students and their teacher, and she said, I live on a farm. I did not know how much work my dad was doing to, keep the pests away and produce the crops that we are. So they really gain a deep understanding of what a farmer does, and they're understanding, how do you apply modern technology to address the food security issues that we have. As I mentioned, we will fully equip you to implement the program. We're excited. We don't usually do a fall program, but we're going to this year, in conjunction with the UN World Food Forum and then the Borlaug Dialogue. We'll be hosting a market build challenge this fall, and that will launch on October 1st. So keep that in mind. And then in the spring, we'll have a brand new Farmcraft world. I don't know how our designers do it, but every year they come up with something new and exciting. So we'll have a brand new world with a different theme and new challenges. And at this point, we've had 4 different seasons. All of those are available on our website, and I'll drop a link in the chat in just a minute, but it's nasef.org/farmcraft. And this is a screenshot of what that page looks like. And there is a link to the slide deck. So let me leave that up just for a moment in case any of you would like to access this. Those videos are really helpful.
Great.
And then I'll also provide my email address here, claire@nasef.org. So if you have any questions, please let me know.
Thanks so much, Claire.
Great, thank you.
Fantastic. Yeah, it's such a great game. And yeah, so hopefully many people get to share and use that as well in their own program. So thanks a lot for sharing. And I'm sure many people will find it very interesting and will start to incorporate it. But yeah, so moving on to our last speaker, and it's our very own Letitia. So she's a youth policy specialist with the World Food Forum that's working with us in the education program. And Letitia leads the Young Scientists Group and is coordinating academic delegations. Has a background in world politics and international relations, focused on environmental politics and agribusiness in the Latin American region. So Letitia, you're going to share a bit on our academic delegations and how others can get involved. So thanks, over to you.
Thank you, Shane. Hi, everyone. It's a pleasure to meet you all. I'll try to be very brief, but we do have a great opportunity for educators and institutions to submit academic delegations for the World Food Forum flagship event. And as you should know by now, our flagship will take place between the 14th to the 18th of October in a hybrid format. And it is really a unique moment where we bring together youth, investors, public and private organizations, and academia across the world. And we really give importance to engaging people from all over the world and different backgrounds and different cultural experiences, including and mainly students, educators, researchers, and faculty members. And those are all the people that can compose an academic delegation and represent their institutions here at the World Food Forum. And that can be done either in person or remotely. And regardless of the format that you choose to attend the flagship event, every delegate is able to engage in policy discussions during our youth assembly, attend different sessions on science, innovation, investment, education, local engagement, and culture, meet and network with different stakeholders, and so on. And because we know that a lot of people can't really make the travel to Rome, our virtual platform also makes it possible to navigate and network online because of Zoom events. And it actually allows participants to engage in the roundtable discussions from afar as well. So we really try to focus on this inclusivity to give this opportunity for everyone. And also during the flagship event this year, we will have a very special session dedicated to the Educators Network. So we really hope to see you all there. And to submit an academic delegation is super easy. After this meeting, I will be sharing with you a template Excel spreadsheet that we have where you can add all the list of basic information that we need of the members that are composing the academic delegation, and you can submit them all to me. I will share my email, and I remain available to answer your questions either here later on the Q&A, or you can reach out to me via email if you have any further questions on the Excel spreadsheet, for example. But it's really easy, and we'll go with instructions. And that's all my side. Thank you so much.
Fantastic. Thanks a lot, Letitia. I know we have some very young educators. From Green Light Year. It's great to see that organization again as well. Seem interesting academic delegations. But yeah, thanks a lot. We'll be sharing more afterwards. Yeah, thank you so much, all of our presenters. We've one more thing to share. Davide is going to share quickly before we come to the end and Q&A session. So this is, I see there are some questions on sort of projects and starting up projects. If you're looking for support and on any of your projects, we're going to share a link in the chat now, and we'll bring it up on screen. So we're looking at this, so as I mentioned at the beginning, creating this collaborative space where we can share opportunities for ourselves across the network, no matter where you are. So if we bring up the document on screen, I think Davide, you'll be able to talk us a little bit more through it quickly. And then after that, we'll come to a Q&A.
Thank you so much, Oisin, and hello, everyone. And as World Food Forum, we have the power to inspire, to guide, and to equip your learners with the knowledge, values, and skills they need to create a more sustainable and equitable world. And the Educator Network is here to support you in this mission by providing a platform for collaboration, discussion, and resource sharing. To facilitate this collaboration, we have created a shared document that will serve as a living repository of contribution from educators. Let me take a moment to explain how this document works and how you can be part of this global effort, and share the link in the chat. So the document is mainly divided into a main section. The first section is the proposing educator section. Here, each participant educator will provide their full name, organization, and email. Additionally, there is a space for a short description of the project you would like to share with the rest of the network. This gives everyone a clear understanding of the diverse backgrounds and perspectives that are being brought into the network. The second section on the right is dedicated to contributions, where the real collaboration takes place. Here, educators can share their ideas, related projects, or any other educational materials they believe would be valuable in promoting agri-food system education for the specific project of the left section. These contributions are not just about sharing, they are about co-developing resources tailored to the unique needs and challenges of different regions around the world. When contributing to this document and collaborating on a specific project, please number your row as shown in the example to facilitate participation and coordination in the left section projects development. We think that localized resources are key to building resilient, sustainable agri-food systems. And by adopting educational content to local contexts, we can ensure that it's not only relevant, but also culturally appropriate and effective. And this approach leverages local knowledge, embraces cultural diversity, and empowers communities at the grassroots level. In essence, these shared documents wants to be more than just a collection of ideas, more let's interpret it as a collaborative space where we can all contribute to the development of educational tools that will have a real tangible impact when it comes to the agri-food system transformation. I invite each of you to participate effectively and actively into this effort. Fill in your details, share your expertise, and let's work together to create a repository of knowledge that will inspire and equip the next generation of change makers. Thank you again for your commitment to this vital work, and I look forward to seeing the incredible contribution that will come from this collaborative effort. And if you have any questions related to these shared documents use, do not hesitate to reach us to us out via email. We will make sure to answer. And I would like now to give back the floor to Oisin for some consideration. So thanks, Oisin. The floor is yours.
Thanks, Davide. And yeah, we'll be sharing this. We'll leave that document there. And as we have inputs from everybody, we'll sort of be facilitating collaborations across the network. So it will go out afterwards as well. So don't feel like you have to apply anything on today. So I think we'll open the floor for questions. I know we have a few minutes left as well. So there are some questions in the chat. I see, Claire, you're responding to some there. I'm going back up a little bit further to see, yes, is it a license game? But yeah, feel free to just unmute if you have any questions, raise your hand for any of our speakers. Yeah. So yeah, Belinda, open your mic, go ahead.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. And it was a great first session on the World Food Forum educators. So my first question is, I am not an educator, meaning I am not a teacher. I am a researcher, but I am very passionate about capacity building, especially from where I come from. I'm sorry for the background noise. I am in the village. So I am very passionate about capacity building. So first question is, am I in the right space? Is this forum just for educators or anyone passionate about capacity building in the agri-food system? And then sorry?
Please continue, Belinda. Yeah, we'll gather all the questions and we can come back to them. Yeah, please continue.
All right. And then my second question is, I had written a concept note. I think there was a call on projects by World Food Forum Hackathon. I had written a concept note, and my concept note was on value addition in the aquaculture space, and then also food preservation methods, especially in marginalized communities, because these communities major on agriculture, and you find there's a lot of food waste that goes about, especially at consumer level. So I had written a concept note on that. Could the educators network actually provide maybe training and support and in building the project to be something worth actually actualizing in my community? Yeah, those are the two questions I have. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Belinda. And maybe I think I can address those questions. But if we want to gather, I know we've got 1 minute left. Maybe Rahman and Joyce, if you quickly want to answer those questions, we can come back to all of them at the very end. Thank you. Over to you, Rahman, to quickly.
You get me? Hello. Yeah, are we okay? So my name is Khalid Abdurrahman. I'm actually from Uganda, Africa. So I am actually in an educator in agriculture, and I had some projects I was handling about agriculture and provision of food in the community. But in this case, the purpose of it, I was trying like to create an example where I can educate our people within the community. So this is one of the projects that I have. This is my working space that I'm trying to organize. So my question is, are we able like to get some support, actually like support in our education so that we can properly educate our people? Then I think it's like I request to get some support within this project, which is I feel like to be. You get me?
Yeah. Sorry, I cut you off. Yeah, but I heard the question. Sorry. Go ahead, Rahman.
The question.
I heard it.
Are
That's
we-
all good.
Hmm?
Yeah, no, so we got the question. Was there another question? Because I know there was a little bit, we're just running out of time. So if there was another question, please go ahead.
Another question. So, by the way, that was one of my questions. Is there some facilities in these programs so that we can actually execute our educating processes very well? That's my question.
Okay, perfect. Thanks. So the last question will go to Joyce. And then afterwards we will have an opportunity for networking amongst the group. We will open some breakout rooms, and if you have similar questions where you want to share across the network, you can do it so there. But Joyce, you'll have the last question. Sorry.
Yeah. Good afternoon to everybody. My question is on the forum that is coming on in Rome next 2 months. Is there a way to support participants with visa acquisition in their various countries?
Okay, so I think we've got all the questions. And I think all of them were probably directed towards the World Food Forum. For those,
I have a question, sir.
Sorry, yeah, just in the interest of time, we will have to move on, but I can address those questions, and we will open some breakout rooms as well. Now, so if there are any additional questions based on the regional context, please join those breakout rooms. But in terms of your questions, Belinda, are you in the right space? Absolutely. I think so. We're looking at sort of formal educators, non-formal educators, and then people who are working informally as well. So looking at capacity building, sort of falling into that, and agri-food systems, falling into that non-formal education category. So more absolutely to have you here, and I'm sure throughout these different sessions and the sharing opportunities, you'll be able to learn a lot and take a lot, and hopefully we can learn some from you as well. In terms of the hackathon, Davide here is actually looking after that hackathon. We'll be able to follow up with you directly afterwards. So we'll be able to have that afterwards. And then support for projects. I think within this document that we've shared in the chat, financial support is something that we're not able to provide for projects now. But across this network, we hope to support each other, educators, and if there's sharing opportunities, if there's ideas, and I don't know, depending on the region, whatever it may be, we hope to share support services. So please use that document that we shared so that we can gather all of the ideas for your support that you're looking, and where people can add some more support. Then similarly to you, Rahman, support for educators in your project, please share all the details of your project on that document that we shared. And like I said, financial support is not something that we're offering currently, but if we can support in other ways, through gathering people, by sharing volunteer positions, by sharing recruitment, anything like that, please do share it there. Visa support for Joyce. So on the visa situation, if you've registered, you will receive an invitation letter. This invitation letter can be something that you could use. Direct visa support outside of that will be on each participant for themselves. So I think we'll be able to maybe wrap up all the questions there, and we're over time now. But I'd like to thank all of the presenters. We do have a discussion platform that we'll share afterwards, and if there are any questions for our presenters there, so starting with the food educators program and the teacher survey that they shared as well, we'll share that as well, also in the discussion platform. Then with the Global Teach Ag Network, Dr. Melanie Miller-Foster shared how you can get involved there. Then Claire LeBeau, and if you're interested in the NACEF Farmcraft program, do let us know, and we'll share more information afterwards, as well as the academic delegations from ourselves. But for that, we'll say thank you. I will open up some breakout rooms, so if you want to join them, and they're sort of regional based, do select them. So it's sort of free networking opportunities that we won't be there. So it's just, they'll be left open if you want to discuss with people from your region. If you have any questions, any projects to share, please feel free to join them. But from our side, we will say goodbye and thank you very much for your time and for joining this first network meeting for the Educators Network. We appreciate your time. So sorry we couldn't get to all the questions, but thank you, and thank you to our presenters.